Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to the Town of Cedar Lake Plan Commission, December 18, 2024, amended public meeting agenda, public meeting, please rise for pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Here.
Mr. Parker?
Here.
Mr. Carnahan?
Here.
Mr. Hunley?
Present.
Ms. Sauer? Present. Mr. Wolfgang?
Here.
Mr. Kapora?
Present.
Mr. Oliphant?
Here.
Mr. Ashton?
Present.
Mr. Bundy?
Present.
Mr. Kubiak? Here. Ms. Heidig is present.
Okay, minutes have been distributed for August 21st, 2024, September 4th, 2024. If there are no corrections, I will take a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Ms. Deschauer, second by you, Sherry Wilkening. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley? Ms. Sauer? Yes. Mr. Wolfgang?
Yes.
Mr. Kapora?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Okay, we received some, who's gonna read this, guys?
I'm going to try and read it off my phone. It is not going to be easy, but I will do it.
We've got some written communications that we need to, read and put into the records.
Cheryl tried to open this and print it. It was difficult, but you were able to open it, I was able to open it, so.
Right.
And Jeff, you probably didn't get this, and if you did, you probably weren't able to open it, so.
Okay.
I got a letter here from Angeline Mikolajczak, 12806 Lee Court, Cedar Lake, Indiana, 46303. Letters dated December 15, 2024. Attention Jeff Bungie, Town Manager, Town of Cedar Lake, 7408 Constitution Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana, 46303. Dear Mr. Bungie, this is in regards to the last Board of Zoning Appeals public meeting held December 12, 2024. For an agenda item that I spoke as a remonstrator for an issue regarding contractor Bruce Young. The reason why I'm writing is due to the fact that I requested evaluation by the Commission and others for consideration, including deferral, which was ignored. For a detailed review of the issues regarding this contractor, Cedar Lake, as well as Lake and Porter counties, and for possible reprimand because Cedar Lake is the place that this contractor originated. And records are already available in the town's files. I also mentioned penalties which, although considered by the board, was given in a smaller amount that I believed to be reasonable for an approved town contractor that develops entire parcels, when also appearing to intentionally manipulate previous planned approvals. Some Cedar Lake residents are charged large amounts in fines by the building department for unintentionally wrongdoing. With only minor home repairs, it should also be noted that Mr. Young continues to manipulate and mock the process, as he did not provide his current residential address in Crown Point, instead gave an address for only a rental property in Cedar Lake. During and after speaking, Young also attempted to intimidate those speaking against him, which triggered law enforcement to be present. From experience, I know that some residents are fined from the building department and some are not fined. That should be fined. It also is true that the building department fines every contractor only by direction of town commissions, or just choose to fine only some contractors and not others. By sole discretion, this contractor seems to have only faced fines when violations are brought to the attention at public hearings. That's extremely unfair to all Cedar Lake residents. and very unfair to those other contractors that are trying to do business in Cedar Lake. As has been stated for years, this contractor has gotten away with murder and seems to still be the case. Questions are also raised for the reasons these building commissions seem to be unaware by their own admission that it is their jurisdiction to impose fines, leaving those decisions solely up to individuals in the town's building department, which by public record are not always processed or followed through accordingly. It's understood that boards are designed for the best interest of both the town and its residents, and this should be held into account with every decision. In addition, even though the board commissioner, town manager, and town attorney understood by listening to my points of views from a person that resides on property in a subdivision poorly developed by this contractor, the board voted in favor for contractor 4-1 and seemed to disregard what I believe was a reasonable request to allow more time for a detailed review of all matters, including but not limited to other building and zoning violations made verbally and written by the town this year, which contractor blatantly ignored, and current legally filed complaints regarding poor workmanship, and more. If one would read such filings, they would notice numerous requests made by this contractor for more time to hear those legal matters. I am kindly requesting that this matter be reviewed by the town of Cedar Lake, as it seems the next step in remediation would be to ask for judicial review of the meeting based on administrative distortion and fairness according to the law. As a resident of Cedar Lake that has attended many public meetings, I witnessed similar items denied to residents by the same board. When the residents have followed up the rules of the application process and having some level of an actual possible hardship on their existing property, yet approved by this same board when this contractor did not follow rules of the application, had no apparent hardship, and had every intention to use the variance process to attempt to create a hardship that never existed. Being that we are a lake community, boat storage will always be an issue, and it seems by granting such a variance for a small fee, people will just continue to build accessory structures against town ordinance because they will just get a variance granted. There is also a matter of varying petitioners of new property owner and contractor for the same item, and using mixed communications between them as a reason for the board to grant their request. As an attendee in public meetings, it seems that those with more experience or possibly through additional training seem to listen and hear the residents more often in public hearings to make fair decisions, and those with less knowledge or just want to get an extra agenda item seem to instead vote in favor of an item just to move on. That appears to be a pattern, which is the reason I requested for a deferral for a detailed review of this agenda item in the first place. As far as I'm concerned, it appears that unfairness, sometimes lack of proper procedures, and overall consistency in various forms of decision-making requires a bit more attention to make Cedar Lake a pleasurable place for all. I sincerely hope that you will consider further review of this particular Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. Without further ado, thank you, Angeline Mikolajczyk. And I don't know, I mean, obviously, this person feels like that the procedure wasn't followed as it should be, or something in addition happened. But the concerning part for me is the judicial review. And David, would you care to comment on that?
Well, that's the law process of appealing or seeking review of the decision of the Board of Zoning Appeals under the Indiana law. That process is a court process. It requires filing of a petition, a verified petition to Lake or a circuit or superior courts, identifying either illegalities or improprieties or errors in the decisions made by the Board of Zoning Appeals. So that's what a petition for judicial review is about, and there's a whole series of filing requirements and lawyer stuff that is related to that. What this letter communication indicates to me as a lawyer is that there's a request made for a review short of the necessity of filing a lawsuit to go to court and have a judge review this before you have something locally or in the community.
So what's the correct procedure to remedy this without
Well,
judicial review?
having chewed on this since last Thursday, it would be my recommendation that you send a recommendation to your Board of Zoning Appeals and ask them to schedule and conduct a special public meeting inviting both petitioner and interested persons, including Ms. Mikolajczyk, to attend, so that the issues can either be addressed and resolved, or at least an attempt, a good faith attempt, short of going to a court proceeding and legal action is required. And the Board of Zoning Appeals would be advised that. Interesting fact pattern I've never seen. It has a lot of uniqueness to it, which is always a problem for an easy resolution, but it ought to be an open signal to trying and finding a solution.
So the Plan Commission needs to take action in an effort to resend this item to the BZA for further review.
Based upon the fact that you have received this letter here at this board and commission, and that you're part of the planning process, that there is Plan Commission jurisdiction in the Lee Cove PUD as a consequence of the subdivision approval that was granted, in addition to the zoning district classification that was approved. Yes, you're sending it to where it belongs, the BZA. The only caveat I would give you to that is that there's a time period under the Indiana law that this petition for judicial review, the court process, must be filed within 30 days of the adverse ruling appealed from or sought to be reviewed. So the clock's already started ticking on that from the BZA meeting last week.
Okay, I want, and I don't even know the address of this property, I want to, I want us to take action on this, whether it succeeds or fails tonight, just to make sure that we've got all our bases covered to avoid a judicial review.
Take away all the lawyers' fun, Greg.
You guys have a lot of fun?
In this case, there would be.
Does anybody know the address I'm looking for?
It's at Farmwood and Fairbanks, right on the corner.
Corner of Fernwood and Fairbanks?
Yeah. 60. It's right on the corner. It's a new house and a garage.
60-50?
6050?
60-50?
Yeah, that sounds right. 6850, something like that.
We should have that meeting or the BZA.
It should be in our packet from the BZA.
Cheryl? I know it's on here, I just don't know how to find it.
Take 141st to Fairbanks and you head north.
504 Fernwood.
6504 Fernwood?
It's right on the northeast corner.
Is that the correct address, 6504?
Yes.
Okay. I want to make a motion to have 6504 Fernwood and Bruce Young back on the BZA agenda at the next BZA public meeting for further review.
Does it have to be sooner than that?
It does. It has to be within 30 days
Oh, so
of last Thursday.
I guess the action needs to be, and then my motion needs to be for the BZA for us to schedule a special public BZA meeting to review this 6504 Fernwood item with the contractor Price Point Builders and Bruce Young.
It's a recommendation to the,
That's the recommendation to,
Right.
to the town council or the BZA?
BZA.
To the BZA.
Correct.
I'll
Okay.
second that recommendation.
All right, question on that, so this is going to the BZA, but we have to set up a special meeting now, or if we wait for the BZA, that's next month?
John, as I recall, you're the chairman of the BZA, so,
Yeah, I know, but this is the plan commission that we're sitting there.
well, so you're wearing two hats, but they're both legal, they're both valid.
And you can call a special meeting.
That's the point. Thank you, Bob.
Well, if it has to be within 30 days, then we need to call a special meeting.
You
We just
don't have to
figure
do it
out.
tonight, but you...
Pardon?
You don't have to do that tonight, but you have the authority to do it.
It's like the owner's name is Govert,
Yep.
and
The
it's
date
Price
to
Point
be
Builders.
announced.
So when is the 30 days up? 30 days from the 12th?
From last Thursday,
That was the 12th.
31 days. is
So by
December.
January 42nd.
Yeah, it's in early January.
30 days would be, all right.
January 11th.
Jeff, can you,
30 days would be that on the 11th, if I'm not mistaken,
What day of the week is it?
of Saturday. Happy Saturday.
Yeah, please don't fill it on the deadline if you would consider it.
I can get back to, with a date on that, we could just make the motion, which has been made, pass it, and then a date to be determined prior to January 11th, 2025.
That's perfect.
okay.
You need roll call, though.
Okay, we had a motion by Mr. Parker, second by Mr. Wilkenine. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Ms. Dessauer?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkenine?
Yes.
Mr. Kapur?
Yes, motion carries 7-0.
Okay, so you and I, John, will talk here, maybe tomorrow or Friday and set a date?
That's fine. Yeah. You gonna call me, or?
I think I still have your number.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if you want me to call you. You're busier than me, so give me a call and
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
can I ask Jim a question? How many inspectors do you have, Jim?
2, 3.
You got enough to keep up with all the building and stuff that's going on?
Okay, are we good?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, old business, number 1, Bank Shop Bar and Grill Site Plan and Preliminary Plat. Order Joe Lopez, 3285 Glenwood Dyer Road, Linwood, Illinois, 60411. Petitioner Adam McAlpine, 398 East 400 North, Valparaiso, Indiana, 46383, vicinity of 8120 Lakeshore Drive, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is presenting preliminary plat for bar and restaurant renovation project to include new parking lot, perimeter sidewalk, stormwater system, and landscaping. Name and address for records, please.
Good evening, everybody. Joe Lopez, 3285 Glenwood Dyer Road, Linwood, Illinois.
Adam McAlpine, 398 East, 400 North, Valparaiso, Indiana.
Okay, comments?
We were here 2 weeks ago
Yep.
and discussed this project with you. We have been in coordination with town engineer on various items over the past months, and we're here tonight, hopefully for your approval on the project.
Okay, I know Don your letter had quite a few items on it.
So, there was a letter issued on the 13th, It's not in your packet for some reason.
No, it is.
It is?
December 13th, I see it.
Yeah, okay. I will trust you. So we did recommend approval with several contingencies.
And they're all listed in the letter.
They're all listed in the letter. I'll briefly go through them. The petitioner is asking for a waiver from a requirement in the town lighting ordinance, essentially it's what we call uniformity ratio. We are in favor of it, pending they put full house shields, as we call them, at their boundaries. So essentially the light fixture can't be seen from the neighbors, residential. Really, they can't meet it just because of the odd configuration of the existing lot. Just provides some issues getting to a 3-to-1 ratio is what's required. Number 2 is just receiving the required variances on the parcel. Number 3 is a letter of credit surety will be required prior to final plat approval. Based on parking spots, 30 patrons will be allowed with 2 employees. No outdoor dining is shown on their petition. Number 5 is they have to meet IDEM's drinking water branch regulations for what they consider a non-transient, non-community well. All of those approvals should be obtained before occupancy is granted. An ADA ramp coming into the building, right now it's not compliant. It needs to be compliant at building level. And we had a small change to the ADA ramp at Foster and Lakeshore. And then number 8 would also be heading at the building level regarding the required oil grease separator. Those are our 8 contingencies.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. Tim, do you have anything?
I do not.
Fence looks good.
Thank you. Added a little Ohio to pick it up. Ohio.
We appreciate it.
If you have a seat for a minute, I'll call for some remonstration. Do we have any remonstrators for or against? Any remonstrators for or against? Anybody online?
No, sir.
Okay. Can I close the remonstrations?
You can.
Remonstrations are closed. You can step back up, please. Commissioners have any discussion?
How many parking places do you have there?
16 and 4 small?
Golf carts?
Yes.
And how many occupants are going to be inside?
Don said 30 with 2 employees.
And that is based off of the parking spots they've provided, full parking spots.
So for every 2 employees, that's 1 parking spot, correct?
Yes, sir.
The only real waiver is number 1.
That is the only formal waiver that they're requesting, and they
Okay.
did provide a formal request from their attorney.
Right.
Does that answer your question, Bud?
Yeah.
So you guys need to get through this so you can see if you can get the variances that you need to move forward? Is that the way, I'm understanding that correctly?
Well, it's come a long ways down to just a few items,
Yeah.
so,
Been a lot of work done.
yeah.
I feel like really excited that I see a finish line here. I'm sure you're excited too, Mr. Lopez.
The haunted house is up.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion regarding make a motion, we approve the petitioner's request for the preliminary plat for bar restaurant renovation project to include new parking lot perimeter, sidewalk, storm sewer system, and landscaping, and referencing the December 13th letter from Christopher Burke Engineering to include the item number 1, the waiver of the lighting uniformity ratio, and 2 through 8 be dealt with.
Okay, a motion made by Mr. Wilkening.
Mr. President, Jerry, would you consider including the site plan approval as a contingency also? That's on the next page, second page.
Oh, yeah. I will amend my motion to include the preliminary plat and the site plan approval for the 8120 Lakeshore Drive property.
You're approving the site plan, or you're making a contingency?
It's a contingency.
Okay, I got a motion by Mr. Wilkening. I have a second.
I'll second that.
Second by Ms. Deschauer. No further discussion. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Kernahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Ms. Dessauer?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Capora?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Site plan approval next.
Just have 30 minutes.
We're not done yet.
Yeah, we're not done yet.
We got site plan approval.
Thanks, Johnny.
Did he just include that?
I ran,
Didn't he just include that?
For the contingency though.
It was a contingency.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
a contingency.
Contingency.
for the plat.
I got it. All right.
Yeah,
So we
those
have no
go
action
down
on that?
below. They go
Okay.
together.
Okay.
Okay, number two, petitioners, requesting site plan approval. We go to advocate?
Hey, hang on.
Hang on, Joe.
Hang on.
Ready?
site plan, yeah. We still need to get that.
I thought that was my motion. You said to
I thought you
include...
said they didn't have to do that.
No, I said it was a condition.
Contingent on a
Contingent
favorable
on-
site plan approval.
Contingent on the site plan approval,
Contingent on you
okay.
approving this,
Right, okay. Yeah, stay there.
Okay.
Oh, shoot.
Last meeting this year, come on. Any comments?
No, I'm sorry, I wasn't even distinguishing the two, I think of them as the same, but, no comments on the site plan?
The site plan has to be what it is.
It is what it is, that's what we have been working on, and, we've been in coordination with the town engineer, and here for your approval.
Okay, Don?
The same letters, kind of applicable to this as well, so any approvals would be contingent on the letter again.
Okay. Building department, anything?
Nope, I'm glad to see it getting to this point.
So am I. Commissioners, any discussion on this?
No, sir.
Then I'll entertain a motion on this, and the motion should include Don's letter of 12/13/24.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that we approve the site plan for 8120 Lakeshore Drive, site plan approval, referencing Christopher Burke's engineering letter from December 13th, 2024, and to include the item number 1 as a waiver for the uniformity ratio requirement for lighting, and to include the completion of items 2 through 8.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Mr. Wilkening, seconded by Mr. Parker. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Kernahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Ms. Dessauer?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Capora?
Yes, motion carries 7-0.
Now you're done. Merry Christmas again.
Merry Christmas.
Guys, they do make some mechanical means of ADA accessible, you know, they can pull on and raise up when you have that much height to deal with, so keep that in mind, because you can only go 1 inch for every 12 inches around 1 inch of rise, so you've got to go up 4 feet. You know what I mean? So they do have some options out there that are, you know, you can roll on and raise up and go in, so just keep that in mind, because you need close to, you know, probably 40 feet, 48 feet of ramp to achieve that slope, so just
They
keep that in
have
mind.
such an apparatus at Princess Cafe,
Yeah.
if you go that way on the way home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just an idea, because that's a lot, there's not a lot of room there, and you need, your your elevation is high, so I just didn't want you not to think of that when you're trying to come up with a plan, that's all.
Thank you.
Okay, number 2, Shilling Development, preliminary plat, owner Cedar Lake 133 LLC, PO Box 677, St. John, Indiana 46373. Petitioner Showing Development, P.O. Box 677, St. John, Indiana, 46373. Vicinity, 5604 West 141st Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is requesting a deferral for the preliminary plat for Lakeside South.
Good evening, Jack Slater with Schilling Development. I'm happy to report that we have had some productive meetings with town leadership and communications back and forth with our engineer and with Don. And so I feel like we're making some positive progress on the water main extension. And so, as I mentioned at the study session, we are requesting a up to 6-month deferral. We're confident that we can maybe get this resolved in January or February and be back sooner, but we're going to request a 6-month deferral at this point.
Okay, anybody got any comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Approve a 6-month deferral.
6 months deferral, yeah.
I'll make that motion.
I made that motion.
I'll second Bob's motion.
To a 6 month deferral?
Up to a 6-month deferral.
All right, motion made by Mr. Carnahan for an extension up to 6 months, and seconded by Mr. Wilkening. No discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Only?
Yes.
Wait, I'm sorry.
You said yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Ms. Sessauer?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Kopar?
Yes, motion carries 7-0.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas to you. Batista Site Plan, owner Midway LLC, P.O. Box 2010, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner Eric Lindenmulder, property owner Joe Gall, business owner 13050 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Vicinity of 13050 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is requesting a site plan for Batista's Market in Delhi. Name and address, please.
Eric Lindemuller, P.O. Box 2010, Cedar Lake, Indiana.
Joseph Gall, 245 Harrington Avenue, Crown Point, Indiana, 46307.
Okay, comments?
Did you guys get the new site plan and visual, and we added some dimensions as you requested, and then we showed the trailer on the backside, which we wouldn't be doing right away, but if he does down the road, you'll know kind of where it's going to be. Same with the wood pile.
We have a dumpster on the north side, south side, southwest side.
Right next to that's the trailer, right in front of it. Kind of like a weird looking
Oh, there it is.
box.
Okay.
And then that has to be 15 feet. So it'll probably be a little bit further away than 15 feet, but 15 feet's the code. So that's not even what he's doing at all. But down the road, just so you know, that's where it would be if he does put that.
Yeah, you guys asked us to show where it will be, it
Right.
happen.
Right, but if and when he does that, the traffic will not be going around that building then, correct?
We can put up parking blocks or,
Yeah.
they won't, yeah, they'll see
They
that
don't,
it's not.
parking doesn't, they don't go around the building now. But they'll be, the trailer almost stops on.
Yeah.
You just have some arrows on the blacktop?
Yep, or we can put parking blocks up or something to
Okay.
block it off, for sure.
No, that's fine, bring that up again, because we had discussed not going around the building.
Totally.
Okay, now, especially after he starts cooking back there,
Right.
so,
Agreed.
okay. Don, do you have anything?
No, if you want us to do a photometric review, that would be the only thing that's really changing on the parcel. So,
Well, he needs photometric, right?
Huh? What?
He needs to show photometric?
Yeah, I mean, that was my question. Sometimes we've required on some of these redevelopments, sometimes we haven't.
You have it.
Yeah, give it to you, David.
Okay, I'll look at it.
Okay.
Make a contingent on that. We'll clean it up.
Okay, building department?
No, this is a lot better layout than what was previously submitted. I agree with the, just arrow and then the parking blocks or fence or something to prohibit, traffic around the back, but other than that, I think it looks good. I mean, there's enough room to function. You can see by those mountains, there's 42 feet from that space to that fence. I mean, everything, there's, you know, enough room for this thing to function, pull in and out, and looks good.
Can we just decide on what's better instead of leaving it up in the air? Are arrows better or are parking blocks better?
I think some arrow just to show in and out in that entryway, so people know when they pull through there that they need to go back out there. And I think the parking blocks or a fence to prohibit traffic from going around. But I think the arrows, like when you pull through that area there with the in and out, would show that when you come in there, that's where you're going back out.
So you're saying to do both, arrows in the front, parking blocks in the back?
Parking blocks or, you know, just something, yeah, something across that back to keep people from going.
Okay.
So there's two entrances here?
No, he's just saying, if you
Just
pull
like
in,
traffic.
people know they're coming back out, the same exact way.
I got you, but there's not two entrances there.
No.
This one picture shows two entrances and an island in the middle.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
that's
asking.
41?
Well, that's,
41 there.
on 41 there is, but not to the back parking spot.
Right, so if you came in on the north side, and went out the south side,
You wouldn't be, that's what I'm saying, if you had an in and an out arrow on the north side there,
yeah,
when you pulled in there, you would know that's where you're going back out, you know, obviously, that's all.
okay.
But once you put the parking box across, that's the only way you're gonna get out, so unless you, you know, I mean, so, start at the back, right?
Yeah, in the back.
So far, we're up to contingencies on the photometrics being reviewed by Don, and then also the requirement for arrows in the front and parking blocks in the back.
No bollards around the building anywhere? Decided against that?
Parking blocks, yeah.
Okay,
If we did outside seating or something, then for sure.
okay.
Any other discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve the petitioner's request for the site plan for Batista's Market and Deli, per the site plan and the parking and occupancy, and with the contingency that Don Oliphant's review of photometrics is compliant.
And with that,
And, oh yes, and arrows dictating direction
And parking lot.
in parking lot.
Parking lot.
And parking blocks, yes.
I'll second that. Motion by Mr. Wilkeny, second by Mr. Becker. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
yes,
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Ms. Beto?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkeny?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes, motion carries 7-0.
Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas to you all.
Yeah, thank you.
Number 4, Anderson and Anderson requesting extension of preliminary plat for Centennial Townhomes, Schilling in Olthoff. Owner, 133 LBM LLC, 8900 Wicker Avenue, St. John, Indiana, 46373. Petitioner Chip Cruzmark, Olthoff Homes, 8051 Wicker Avenue, St. John, Indiana, 46373, vicinity of 10702 West 141st Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is requesting a 1-year extension on the preliminary plat for the townhome section of Centennial Community PUD to expire on December 2025. Name and address, please.
Richard Anderson, 9211 Broadway, Maryville, Indiana. I represent the owner and petitioner, 133 LBM. I was here a year ago and got the preliminary plat approved, and at the same time, we amended the PUD, made it less dense, and changed the look of the product, et cetera. The product would be built by Olthoff, and so basically, because of trying to catch up with the utility issues in the town, I'm asking for a 1-year extension on the preliminary plat. Hopefully, we can do something before that.
Don, any comments?
No, sir.
Building Department?
No, I mean, no, it's just a continuance of something that's been approved, so no comment.
Commissioners, any discussion?
No, sir.
Nope.
The 20 pages, Mr. Austin, that are in here of the old stipulations, it has old signatures on it. That doesn't matter?
Does not matter.
Okay.
It's already
Based
approved.
upon those conditions.
All right.
What is the actual date for the extension, December
It'll be today,
Pardon?
December 19th.
the 19th?
Today's the 18th.
18th, excuse me. Last time it was the 19th, I think, or the 20th was last year, so we're gonna lose 2 days. And basically, I think it starts as of today, when you approve it. The 1-year extension will be from today.
Is that correct, December 18th?
From today.
Yeah, okay. All right, if there's no other discussion, I'll entertain a motion for a 1-year extension to December 18th, 2025.
So moved.
Chuck Becker, made the motion, who second?
Oh, you beat me?
Nope.
I'll second.
Bob Carnahan seconded. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Ms. Sensauer?
Yes.
Mr. Wolfgang?
Yes.
Mr. Kokor?
Yes, motion carries 7-0.
Thank you very much.
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
Number 5, Summer Wind, Unit 2, performance bond credit to expire December 20th, 2025 in the amount of $279,817.13. Hi.
Good evening. Brad Lambert, 8865 Crooked Bend, St. John's, Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is regarding Summer Winds Residential.
It is.
Which is the subdivision directly across from the high school there, right, where the new People's Bank branch is. And that subdivision has been under construction and in progress for, I think, 6 years now. And the subdivision, I believe, is 85 or 86% complete at this point. We only have one building left, the one duplex building left that has to go up. So I believe this is our third renewal on the performance letter of credit. And one of the questions that we have for the council, and I'm actually not sure if this is the proper venue even to ask to bring this up, would be, I think one of the things that the town would like to see would be for us to open King Street, so that King Street could be accessible, to the new subdivision that's behind it from 133rd, and obviously to be able to provide additional thoroughfare and relieving traffic coming from the east and west on 133rd. And that, which we have no objection to that, certainly that would make a lot of sense. Our question would be, is that if we were to do that, and then we were to go ahead and get the final paving done, and finish whatever punch list items that Don would have for us in the subdivision to do, is that if we could then move to an immediate maintenance letter of credit that could then be immediately, essentially dictated or just deemed as being completed. And the reason we ask that is because once we do open King Street, and once we do that final paving, we're going to be subject to construction traffic through that area, and a lot of wear and tear on that road. That really doesn't have anything to do with us. And so, kind of like it's a bit of a risk for us doing that, but it would definitely make sense for the town and for the community people and those people that live in those new houses, et cetera, and might help again, definitely with the east-west traffic flow in 133rd, doing sort of relieving of that. And that existing asphalt that we have there, it's been there for like over 5 years now, and it's in really good shape. There's nothing in that subdivision we're showing any any failure or any, you know, about to fail or anything like that. We've done, over the past year, we've done a lot of fixing of the concrete and the curbs, any cracks and curves and different things in the city sidewalks, et cetera. So just wanted to bring that up. And again, I don't know if this is the appropriate place to do that or.
I think the only thing I see here on the agenda is to extend the, credit to, December of 2025. I don't see no action on that other stuff.
There's nothing on here in reference to that, but he is basically asking a question. And my response to his question is, once you meet all the criteria, for flipping it into the maintenance letter of credit, then that's when it will happen. You're gonna have to eventually open that street up. And if you gotta control construction traffic, you need signage or something to control the traffic. But that's not part of us. And Mr. Carnahan is correct, we're just sure about the extension, you know, so.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Any comments, anybody?
No, sir.
I'll make a motion to approve, the extension of, credit, in the amount of $279,817.13 to expire on December 20th of 2025.
December 18th. Did you say the 20th?
20th, it says here.
The 18th was the last one.
All right,
This is the 20th.
this is the 20th.
Okay,
We're
my
extending.
mistake. Yeah, I see it now. Yeah, okay.
I'll second it.
All right, I had a motion by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Mr. Wilkening. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Ms. Dessauer?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Kapur?
Yes, motion carries 7-0.
I just have one question. Are you asking for a shortened maintenance period, or are you asking to get it to that maintenance period? Because once this punch list is complete, once the punch list is complete, you can convert this into your maintenance, and then you have a 3-year period to.
Yeah, it's essentially,
So you're
yeah.
asking for that 3-year
Yes.
period to be shortened on King Street, or you're asking to?
Yeah, Mr. Kubiak, that's what.
I mean, I just was unclear of your
Yeah, that's sort of,
request.
that's sort of what we're asking for here. Simply given the, you know, given the amount of time that's already transpired, you know, through on the performance letter of credit, and then, you know, the fact that all of those, items that have been repaired or whatever have been recently taken care of, and then, again, the additional traffic that King Street's going to be exposed to, that, you know, by us opening that up, and, you know, we just want to be cooperative, and, you know, hopefully if we can, you know, receive, you know, a little bit of benefit on the other side, that would be fantastic. I mean, we're not looking to skate on any responsibility.
We would 100%, you know, and we've done this with other developments, is, you know, we're 100% in favor of the no construction and, you know, monitoring construction traffic, because that's what, you know, I mean, we've done that in Old Tops neighborhood, you know, we've done that, obviously, they were the ones that were building further back, but still protecting their investment, like you're saying, you know, you put in a brand new road, and then you have 20 million concrete trucks a day going down it to shortcut.
So it's our job site.
Right, so I mean, we get that part of it, but I don't know that, you know, I don't see I guess this would be the board to ask for a shortened time period when you get to that point, but I don't know that anybody has been given that in the past, I guess, but.
Let's address all the punch list items, and then I think that's the time to talk about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
All right, let's move on. Summer Wind, June and 3, performance letter of credit to expire on December 23rd, 2025, in the amount of $14,575.48.
Yeah,
Okay,
Brad
so this
Weber,
is-
yeah, 8865 Crooked Bed in St. John, Indiana. This is, same subdivision. It's just that, you know, as we were developing the subdivision, we developed it in phases, so this is the, third phase of the subdivision. Same situation, same circumstances.
Okay.
I have a question. You gotta open up King Street, where's they gonna open up to?
There is a new subdivision behind King Street. I'm not sure exactly which one.
Beacon Point, He's looking at 8.
Centennial Village.
Beacon Point West, and there's a
It
street
also
that
goes into.
right into it.
Yeah. What about the high school traffic? We're gonna have people leave the high school and go down to that.
Jim, we don't wanna talk about that now.
I wanna know about it for the next meeting though.
We don't have no decision to make on it.
I know, but I got the information I need.
Okay. He's done.
Okay.
I would like to make a motion to, approve the performance, letter of credit to expire December 23rd, 2025, in the amount of $14,575.48.
Have a motion by Mr. Carnahan to approve,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Wilkeny. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Ms. Sessower?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkeny?
Yes.
Mr. Kopar?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. New business, Railside Performance Center, Merry Christmas to you too. Railside Performance Center credit reduction to $1,165,934.83. Do we have anybody here for Railside?
Don't think anybody's coming.
I don't have to see that on my agenda.
This is the Railside Performance Letter of Credit over the entire subdivision. Currently, the performance is posted at a number of $3,102,838.53. We've been going through as-built, field inspections. The letter you have is our punch list right now. The last page is our recommended reduction to reduce the performance letter of credit down to $1,165,234.83.
234?
934
yeah.
and 83 cents.
Okay.
Those numbers match, don't they? 1,165,000.
Yep.
Yeah, they match.
I just said 279.
So we should reference your letter
Yes, sir.
dated December 12th.
December 12th.
Got a lot of work done there.
Added and cooking out there.
The 141st improvements are installed, paved, striped, signed.
Yeah, they're nice. Any discussion?
No.
Building department have anything? Nope. Well, no discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to, approve the performance letter of credit reduction to $1,165,934.83.
A motion by, Mr. Parker. I'll second it. Second? I'll second it. Second by Mr. Becker.
Do we need to reference the letter on December 12th?
Yes.
I'll amend my motion to include referencing the letter from December 12th
I'll second it.
Christopher B. Burke.
from Christopher B. Burke.
You concur? Yes. Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Ms. Sessower?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkeny?
Yes.
Mr. Kopar?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. And Merry Christmas to you. Too much eggnog. Okay, update items. Summer Winds Commercial Maintenance Letter of Credit to expire January 21st, 2025, in the amount of $25,752.60.
We completed site inspections on December 6th. A letter was issued with the punch list items on December 13th. There's only 5 minor items. The majority of this letter of credit is more of the water main loop around it, so Public Works still has to inspect that, but one of the comments is unfortunately an asphalt comment, so we'll have to figure out how to address that prior to the expiration, but we'll figure it out. Brad, who's already left, he requested a meeting, but
That's
we're
the
gonna try to...
Culver's, the Culver spot.
Culvers?
The Culver's asphalt spot?
Well, there's that one, which is technically on Culvers, 'cause I think they created it. And then the intersection southeast of Tech Fed, so the very northeast corner of this property. It's pretty rough shape. So, the letter's really just in there as a note, so we're working on it.
Okay, and this expires on the 21st. We are, January 15th will be our, public meeting, so we have time to act on that then, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we'll just wait and see what happens.
Are you around, Tim, over the holidays? He wants to meet out there, I wanted you out there with me. Okay. I responded to his email this afternoon, so,
Okay.
wanna check it out.
Okay, now we're down to board discussion, discuss draft of ordinance 1402, chapter 17, site plan.
Mr. President, if I may, you guys should have in front of you several packets Ms. Hyduk prepared for you guys. Basically, it's going to be an explanation of how we got to the change in Chapter 17 for Ordinance 1402, with some confusion as far as who the businesses that would have to perform or present a site plan in front of Plan Commission. So after your guys' meeting on December 4th, I attended the building department meeting the next day, had some discussion with the building department. After that meeting, I received a phone call from Attorney Ostian regarding the Chapter 17. I brought to his attention the discussion that happened at the building department meeting with where the confusion was. Shortly after, a few hours afterwards, I received a red pen correction with the notes that he got from us from the building department. After that, I was on the phone with Mr. Kubiak, told him about the changes. We then set up a meeting Friday morning. That was on the 6th. With that, we took the reference changes for Mr. Ostian, went over them, did a little corrections, tweaking and stuff and suggestions. In that meeting, it was basically Tim, myself, Michelle Bowers, and what will be our new planning director, Tim Conley. After that, we sent that off later that afternoon to Mr. Ostian, which then we received the draft that you'll see in front of you on the 12th. So if you look, the first one, that was the 17th, you'll see where Mr. Ostian had the red highlighted stuff with notes. Second one was after the building department meeting with little changes, corrections, questions. And then what you see then, Exhibit A is the revised Chapter 17 draft that would have to be acted upon, I guess, how would that go, Dave? What was the process again?
There will be a public hearing before the Plan Commission on the recommendation to change the text or amend the text of the zoning ordinance. You will make a recommendation to the town council, and that'll be slid into the town zoning ordinance.
And so basically, all of this information is for you guys to see basically the workflow, how it came up with this draft, and if you guys had any extra input on it, as far as what your thoughts would be.
What's the biggest change here? You omitted one complete paragraph that added 25%?
Technically did not omit a paragraph, we just removed the 25%. Because basically, I guess in confusion, it was thought by the building department that if they were not changing plus or minus 25%, they did not have to come with a site plan. But it clearly states in the very first part of it, site plan review shall be required in all commercial and industrial zoning districts. If the discrepancy was then, if it is new or was changing the building square footage, you would need a developmental plan. So totally different, site plan's a little more simple, developmental plan, a lot more engineering detail.
So is the thought for us to chew on this and come back in January and vote on it then, or what's the intention?
I'd like you to chew on it, but give me permission to advertise the public hearing so we don't lose any time.
Would that be in January then?
It would be in January.
Our first meeting on the 8th?
January 15th
No,
is your
it'll be
public
at
meeting.
Public
The
meeting.
15th. On the 15th, right?
Correct. John, may I add a couple quick comments?
Sure.
This is not unusual that we come to places where there's confusion about rules, regulations, procedures, and the like. This is before you tonight to eliminate that on this particular matter. There's a tremendous amount of discussion with your planning staff and with your council members and even some of you about what the requirements are and what the necessity of a site plan is. So I can assure you, the Indiana Code gives a foundation for that. Look in the 1400 series, 1401.5 specifically, and it says that in this zoning district, or in any zoning district you deem appropriate, if there's a site plan required or a development site plan required, it's a shall. It's not a may, it's a shall. And that was a bit of confusion that Rich shared with me as to staff interpretation and how to do this. This ordinance has been in place and has been founded on the Indiana Code since March 1st of 2002. And we came to a place where it just needed to be clarified. So going forward, until or unless the ordinance is amended, revoked, rescinded, or repealed, we have a site plan process for the town based upon this section. It's a pretty simple section, section 17 of this ordinance, and all we really did was fine tune it. It was not substantively changed. It was simply clarified points of kind of discussion and seemingly questions. We wanted to avoid all that and eliminate circumstances that gave rise to that.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Mr. Austin, where in here does it say, well, I guess the question is 1400 to 1406 in the first paragraph, first sentence.
That's the
And
grant language.
now so the site plan review shall be required. The planning and building department does review the site plans.
They do.
So 1400, 1406 say that the planning commission will review them?
You'll see that there's a recommendation, there's a process.
Okay.
The process was modified to streamline it so that folks aren't coming in here 2, 3, 4, 5 times. They're coming in here, they're visiting with the staff on a preliminary site plan review or meeting, or however it happens. It's intended to be informal, it's intended to be office style, it's intended to be collegial to our citizens. From that meeting and review, there's anticipated a visit to the Plan Commission. That should be an agenda item, if you will, on one of your meetings each month. I suggest it be the public meeting so that you can take action, much like tonight. And you'll see that, and we'll work with Cheryl and Tim on the agenda format to call it out. Unsafe buildings is called out, different degrees or different types of review and activities that they're working on. And I would anticipate that the town's Plan Commission meetings will have a similar breakout for ease of review and preparation and readiness.
If I could add to that too, as Dave said, with the procedure, you know, if you looked in section B right at the beginning, where it says that they would come to the duly designated town official, that will be our new planning director. And then once he sees everything that would be fit and qualified to come before you, that's when it would go to the work session, and then to, you know, if you guys felt everything was satisfactory, to an official public meeting.
We will be looking for recommendation after time from the new planning director of costs. Right now, the costs probably are not what they need to be for a review process. If you have staff involved and you have meetings involved, there will be some cost that needs to be looked at. And I refer you back again to, these are for commercial and industrial development, so we're talking business versus residential.
The second marker says excluding approved PUDs. Can that be including?
Nope, excluding. We make a transaction deal with developers of PUDs by the development agreement. We're doing the site plan within that development agreement. So we're not gonna do it twice on folks.
This is just for occupancies for new businesses, so if it's in Summerlin's commercial with an approved PUD, they have a list of what could go in there, so they should be able to come in.
But what about Railside, Lakeview, for example?
Same.
They're acre and a half, they could be anything. Right now, the first 4 that have developed, and both of them have come before this board.
If they have insufficient planning to them, they will be required to follow either this process or brought into the PUD review.
Now,
To a PUD review.
now, I don't know if you're, so Don, that would fall under, like, currently in Railside,
It's a PUD.
it's almost all new. So all of those will still be coming in.
Okay.
So
I don't know if that answered.
Yeah, so the new building will come in regardless if it's a new building, but then the occupancy portion of it, as long as it fits into that PUD for that neighborhood, they don't have to come back and bring in the same site plan that was just approved for the building to get
So we
on.
can do some of those reviews, not in front of here, but behind that.
Correct, because they're already black and white what's allowed in there, and
So for example, Batista's Deli is an example of exactly what this is.
Valley was done just like what we're proposing.
Right, that's what I mean, that's-
Same, yeah, just
Yep.
like this.
Okay.
So you guys get a feel for it at the work session, you see what you need. Hopefully they can bring back the rest of it. And again, these old buildings, I thought Batista's was handled, you know, there's paving there, there's parking there, they delineate, you know, they did what you guys needed to open a business there. A new building obviously is a full-blown site plan approval
Right.
regardless, automatically. So the part that we were trying to eliminate the PUDs is just Summerlin's commercial, Railside. Once that building is there, now somebody comes in to put in Joe's tractor parts and it fits all the requirements of that PUD, they can get an occupancy, their fire inspection, and they're good. They don't need to come to this board to get approved to go into that building because they already fit the model that was approved for that neighborhood or that area building setup. So it kind of makes sense because it's already been through that whole PUD process. There's a pretty extensive list of what is and is not allowed, and
Okay, so then we will go over this information and, at the, January, 8th meeting. We will discuss it, which is the work session, and, we'll advertise it, should be advertising it for the 15th.
For public hearing. Public hearing.
Correct?
correct.
And one note here too is that, because the first Wednesday in next year is New Year's Day, we are not going to meet. We're going to meet on January 8th, 2025 at 6 o'clock instead of the 1st.
Is that adequate time for?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
John,
And then we only have a meeting on the 8th, the 9th, and then the 15th. What? I'm sorry.
January 8th seems to be a good date to consider asking the BZA to meet also.
BZA also?
BZA is the next
A
day.
special BZA meeting for the
Oh,
review.
6 o'clock
A
or?
number of you will already be here, that's all I'm saying.
Well, work systems, that's it.
But have it on January 8th at 6 o'clock, you're saying, before
6 or
5
7,
o'clock? or-
yeah, or 5 or 7.
well, we start at 6. The work session will start at 6.
However you want, it's a
5.
suggestion, that's all.
Can you get the BZA in at 5?
Can I get them in at 5? Jim, can you make it?
We have to have.
We'll have two anyway.
My term's up the 8th, January 1st.
Well, the town council hopefully will make those appointments next Monday.
But the plan commission has to appoint someone to the,
Yeah, if that's enough time, it's within the time limits, and, how long do you think that meeting is gonna take?
No idea.
2 months, 3 months?
Could be,
Yeah.
could be.
Well, let's start with the 8th, and as long as we have it before the 11th, could we continue it at a later date if?
No.
No, it has to be.
It could, as long as you're, the answer is yes, you can continue to any time you want. After 30 days, the ruling that was made, the decision that was rendered is the decision, without any recourse. It's gone, 30 days, that's it, that's the statute.
Jeff, do you have a problem with that special meeting on the 8th?
I don't believe so.
What I'll do is I'll send, or Cheryl can send out an email to the BZA stating that we want to meet at 5 o'clock to discuss, the letter, and then, go from there. And then they can respond whether it's good or bad for them. I would like to see all 5 members there.
Hopefully,
Hopefully, but
you never know.
Jerry Riley works usually.
He might still be out of town. If you all have comments about the zoning ordinance, site plan, text, and send them to us, that would be helpful. Help us, start cleaning up the document as to what your thoughts are.
okay.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on this? Okay, then let's move on to public comment.
Angie Michaelaichuk, 12806 Bay Court. Based on the discussion had tonight, I had no intention of being here, but I'll have to ask. I was at the town council meeting last night, whereas they gave direction to give a certain contractor that we're discussing a red tag violation, and about, I don't know, 7:30 to noon, I didn't see anyone from the town, so thereby I'm asking if any red tag violation was issued today.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
I didn't write down the time, but it was done.
Okay.
You know, satellite imagery is amazing stuff.
It's on the center window in the front of the house. You can see it very clearly from the road.
Okay, thank you, that's all. As long as we have the information for the meeting, that'd be great. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Merry
Thank
Christmas.
you. Any other public comment?
You can tell them Merry Christmas.
Nobody online.
You can tell them Merry Christmas.
I'll get her Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I was gonna catch them all at the end here, but, you know.
I get it.
Any other public comment? I see none, public comment is closed. I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. See you all next year.
Same here.
We're adjourned.